Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Boughton. I teach kindergarten at Echo Lake Elementary. Today we're going to learn about retelling a story. Now, retelling a story is really important because it is a way that you can show that you understood a story that you listened to or a story that you read. And when we retell a story, we focus on five main elements of the story. We focus on the characters, which is who is in the story, the setting, which is where and when does the story take place, and then we focus on the beginning, middle, and end of the story. So today we're going to focus on beginning, middle, and end. In a minute, we're going to read a story together. We're going to read a story you may have heard before, The Gingerbread Man. So we will read the story, and while we're reading, I want you to focus on listening to the most important parts of the beginning of the story, how we can tell what happens in the middle, and then the biggest thing that happens at the end. So be paying attention to those parts as we read The Gingerbread Man. I'm going to read to you the story, The Gingerbread Man. And you've probably heard this story before, or maybe read this version or another version, but this is a great example of a story where we can identify the beginning, middle, and end. So as I read you the book, make sure that you are paying close attention so that at the end, we can talk about those important parts and the things that happened at the beginning and the middle and the end of the story. So this book is available through Epic, which you have access to through Clever, and you can come into Epic and read lots of great books. So I hope you're using that while we are not in school. So this is The Gingerbread Man. Once upon a time, a little old man and a little old woman lived in a cottage near the river. One morning, the little old woman decided to bake a gingerbread man as a special treat. The little old woman mixed together all the ingredients to make the gingerbread dough. Then she rolled the dough out flat and used the cutter to make it into the shape of a little man. Finally, she made some icing for his eyes and mouth, and she gave him 3 currant buttons and a cherry for a nose. Currants are kind of like raisins. The gingerbread man was ready to be baked. Half an hour later, the gingerbread man was baked and the little old woman opened the oven. Suddenly, the gingerbread man jumped up and ran through the open kitchen door. "Stop!" cried the old woman, running after him. "I want to eat you." But the gingerbread man wouldn't stop. He didn't want to be eaten. "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man," he chanted. The gingerbread man ran past the little old man. "Stop!" cried the little old man. "I want to eat you." But the gingerbread man ran even faster. "I've run away from a little old woman, and I can run away from you," he said. "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man," he chanted. The little old man and the little old woman chased the gingerbread man into the yard, but he was too fast. As he ran, he passed a pig. "Stop!" snorted the pig. "I want to eat you." But the gingerbread man ran even faster. "I've run away from a little old woman and a little old man, and I can run away from you," he said. "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man," he chanted. The pig chased the gingerbread man, followed by the little old man and the little old woman. The gingerbread man ran past a cow by the barn. "Stop!" mooed the cow. "I want to eat you." "I've run away from a little old woman, a little old man, and a pig, and I can run away from you," the gingerbread man cried. "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man," he chanted. The cow, the pig, and the little old man and the little old woman all chased the gingerbread man, but the gingerbread man was too fast. The gingerbread man raced past a horse in the field. "Stop!" neighed the horse. "I want to eat you." "I've run away from a little old woman, a little old man, a pig, and a cow, and I can run away from you," he said. "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man," he chanted. The horse chased the gingerbread man, followed by the cow, the pig, the little old man, and the little old woman. But the gingerbread man was too fast. Then the gingerbread man reached a river and stopped. The sparkly water swirled in front of him. "Oh no, I can't swim," he cried. "How will I get across?" A sly and hungry fox saw the gingerbread man and licked his lips. "Jump onto my tail and I will take you across the river," he said. So the gingerbread man jumped onto the fox's tail. After swimming halfway, the fox said, "You're too heavy for my tail. Jump onto my back." So the gingerbread man ran along the fox's bushy tail and jumped onto his back. After a while, the fox cried, "You're too heavy for my back. Jump onto my nose." So the gingerbread man jumped onto the fox's nose. As soon as they reached the riverbank, the fox flipped the gingerbread man up into the air, snapped his mouth shut, and gobbled him up. And that was the end of the gingerbread man. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story, boys and girls. Now let's talk about how we can retell the story, especially focusing on the beginning, the middle, and the end. So let's look at what I have on my screen. I made a simple paper with 3 boxes, one that says beginning, one that says middle, and one that says end. And this is something you could do anytime you listen to a story. Just draw 3 boxes on your paper or make 3 columns, and you could just have a B if you want for beginning, and a letter M for middle, and a letter E for end. This is a good way to organize your thoughts. So I think it's easiest to talk about the beginning and the end. Normally, those are the parts of the story that are a little easier to identify. So let's start with beginning and end, and then we'll come back and talk about the middle. So at the beginning of this story, think about what happened. The little old lady decided to bake a gingerbread man. But what happened when she did? He came to life and ran away, right? So let's think of a sentence we could write for the beginning. I'm going to type a sentence. You could write a sentence on your paper to practice your writing. You could also draw a picture. Even better, you could do both. So for the beginning, I'm going to write that the gingerbread man came to life and ran away. Now let's skip to the end of the story. What happened at the end? Where did the gingerbread man end up? Remember, he came across the river and he couldn't swim, and who offered to help him? That sly, tricky fox. And then, of course, at the very end, the fox got him to climb all the way up to his nose and ate him up. So the end of the story, and we don't have to say all of that. We could just make one sentence to tell about the end. At the end, the fox tricked the gingerbread man and ate him. So that tells us about the end of the story. Now the middle. So everything else that happened in between the beginning and the end is the middle. But we want to think about a way to sum that up and just tell 1 or 2 sentences about the middle of the story. In a lot of stories, the middle is where the big problem happened, or the most important part. In this story, it just has a lot of events. The problem kind of happens at the beginning. So in the middle of this story, we want to figure out a way to just tell 1 or 2 sentences. So think about what was happening in the middle. The gingerbread man ran past lots of different animals. Every time he was faster than they were, and he outran them. So one way we could say that in a short 1 or 2 sentences is we could just say, the gingerbread man ran past many animals. And I'm sure you remember what he says every time. You can tell yourself that saying, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. So at the beginning, let's go back and see. The gingerbread man came to life and ran away. Then the gingerbread man ran past many animals. That was the middle of the story. And at the end, the fox tricked the gingerbread man and ate him. So that gives us the details of the beginning and the middle and the end. And other parts of a story that we often like to talk about are the characters and the setting, where the story takes place and when it takes place. And sometimes in the beginning, middle, and end, like we know right here that it's about a gingerbread man and that there's a fox. So this way, if you are really doing a good job telling the beginning, middle, and end, you might also mention the characters in the setting. And sometimes your teachers will ask you to do beginning, middle, and end and have a box for the characters and a box for the setting. So think about that when you're retelling a story too. Who is in the story and where and when does the story take place? As I mentioned, boys and girls, the middle of the story can be the trickiest part to retell. In this case, if for the middle we had just said, the gingerbread man found a pig, would that be enough information? No, it doesn't really tell us everything that happened in the middle. But it would be too much if we said that the gingerbread man saw a pig and the pig wanted to eat it and then it ran away and it was fast and then it saw a cow and the cow wanted to eat it. That would be too much information to share. So you want to think about how you can summarize that middle into 1 or 2 sentences to show the most important parts. While you're thinking about beginning, middle, and end, also practice this when you're writing. Writing a story would be a wonderful thing for you to do right now while we're out of school. And I know your teacher would love to see any stories that you write, but think about a fiction story. Come up with some characters, come up with a setting. Where would your story take place? And then think of a beginning and a middle and an end for your story. So how would your story start? What would happen in the middle? And then how would the story end? And share it with your teacher if you do any great writing. So anytime you listen to a fiction story lately, you can get a piece of paper, practice that beginning, middle, and end, and you'll be awesome at retelling when you go back to school in the fall. Thanks, boys and girls.